My name is Tina Dupuy, and you're watching the TYT Network. On the phone with us is a reporter who's been on the ground in Wisconsin. He was there for an entire week of the protest against Scott Walker's budget fix bill. And on the phone with us right now, we have Jakob Wheeler from the Uptake, a nonprofit organization who is totally open to any kind of donations that you have. If you want to see people on the ground covering this important issue, go to theuptake.org, give them a little bit of money. Jakob, can you hear me?
I can, Tina. It's great to be on. Thanks for the shout out.
Great, yeah. Thanks for your time. So what's been going on? What have you seen on the ground? We've been hearing reports mainly from the governor. He's saying that everybody's from out of state and there's not anybody from Wisconsin down there shaking their fists at his budget fix. So
well, by the number of Green Bay Packers jerseys I've seen and the sea of red of Wisconsin Badger fans, I think that's a lie. There have been a whole lot of people there. There have been tens of thousands of people protesting both inside and outside the Capitol since middle of last week. We arrived late Thursday night, and just boisterous, euphoric, happy, passionate crowds, tens of thousands every day. Probably up to maybe a couple thousand young demonstrators, students sleeping in the Capitol, Wisconsin State Capitol, every night. We slept there a couple nights ago. No, they are not. There are certainly some out-of-staters, as well as out-of-state journalists. But this is a Wisconsin thing. This is the Wisconsin people, standing up for workers' rights. Students, teachers, hard hats, a whole lot of people, and it's been something of an epic struggle. I mean, we got to see Scott Walker up close when he held a press conference Monday evening in his quarters in the state capitol. And during the press conference, he stood up. He was a man of steel. He didn't blink. He didn't smile. He didn't budge an inch on his union-busting legislation that he wants. And you could hear and feel the pounding of thousands of protesters just through two doors down the hall, but thousands all throughout the Capitol. It was an incredible moment, visually and audio-wise.
So this is a bit of a breaking news this morning. There was a journalist from Buffalo Beast, and big disclosure, I've written for them. Also need subs and money, but anyway, so Buffalo Beast is pretending to be David Koch and calls Governor Walker, and they have a very chummy conversation and basically, talk about how they're in this together. What do you think that this is going to have an impact on the, going forward, now that he's disclosed kind of some of the tricks that he's been trying to make happen?
Yeah, wow, what an amazing development.
Right.
And truth be told, I have yet to listen to this because I've been driving back to Minnesota and just arrived. But man, first thing, for those of us who have been following this clearly, and for those on the left or supporting labor who have deep reservations about Governor Walker, I don't know if they'd be surprised by what he said, namely that he would basically hold 5,000 or more state workers hostage, in the sense that he's going to threaten to the Democratic senators in Illinois that if they don't return, he'll lay off 5,000 workers. It sounds like in that phone call, he said that he had promised the Democratic senators in Illinois, hiding out in Illinois, the 14 of them, the Wisconsin 14, that he's offered to negotiate if they come back. And then he said on the phone call that in fact he has no intention of negotiating. I don't think that any Democratic politicians, either in the Assembly, which is their House of Representatives, or the Democratic senators in Wisconsin have any trust left for this guy based on what we heard from representatives we spoke to in Madison. They have no trust for him. So I don't know if there's a lot of surprise, but what an embarrassment for him. What an embarrassment. And you've got to think that, swing voters in Wisconsin, perhaps some more moderate Republicans who voted for Walker are going to listen to this and see this, and they're thinking, wow, he is just incredibly disingenuous, and he has his political career more interested in his political career and his future endeavors in the national stage than he does workers and voters of Wisconsin. This has just got to be terribly embarrassing for him.
He compared himself to Reagan. He was like, this is just like Reagan, and as soon as you say you're just like Reagan, you are just like missing the mark. One more question for you. My favorite story to come out that you guys have done this week is about Ian's Pizza. And, and just for people who are not familiar with it, Ian's Pizza, which has a very only in Wisconsin pizza. Their signature pizza is macaroni and cheese on top of pizza. How perfect is that for cheeseheads? Has been getting calls from all over the world, most significantly, of course, Egypt, of people donating these macaroni and cheese pizzas to the protesters. How did you guys find out about this story?
Wonderful. Well, like many stories, we see something on Twitter mentioning it, and Twitter is the way to follow these stories, these fluid stories where news is breaking every second. Ian's Pizza is only a block and a half from the state capitol. It's down State Street, where folks who know Madison will know that State Street runs from the University of Wisconsin up the hill to the state capitol, and it's only a block and a half away. And I ran down there and got some video footage of some B-roll of the guys in the kitchen making the macaroni and cheese pizza, the lady taking calls around the clock from folks in almost all 50 states and all over the world, including Cairo, for to donate pizza to the demonstrators occupying the Capitol. It's a pretty cool story. I mean, they have a chalkboard in the pizza place where they've listed all the countries that have given, all the states that have given, and Cairo, of course. I think it was Sunday when I was down there doing the story, and at that point they had over 500 pizzas had been called in, and I'm sure it's much more than that, if not doubled.
Right. By Monday, the reports I was seeing on Twitter was that nobody could get through. That it was a busy signal. It was literally off the hook because
right. And this is a
reporting.
pizza place this pizza place does traditionally deliver around Madison, but they were no longer. You could still walk in and buy a piece of pizza. In fact, I got one at 3:30 in the morning a few nights ago. But they're open late. But they're no longer delivering in Madison to anywhere but the state capitol. And someone runs up the hill to the Capitol. They walk in, and euphoric and happy young activists come on over, and they're just handing out pizza to anybody in the Capitol at all hours of the day or night.
Right, young activists that are all high on carbs. Jakob Wheeler, theuptake.org. Go there, donate to citizen journalism. If you are pro-union or just pro-workers' rights, these guys are doing. They're there on the ground, and they're nonprofit, and they are only making money, or they're only able to do this because of citizens actually donating cash to keep them afloat. So theuptake.org, and Jakob, thank you so much for your time.
Tina, thank you. Thanks for the great work.